I want to give you guys a little bit of an update on the state of the race. And I'm telling you, it is not looking good for old Donnie here. So, Polling USA tweeted the following. Here's a snapshot of key state averages from Lean Tossup. So these are going to be some of the most important states in the 2020 election. Look at these numbers. In Michigan, Biden is plus 10.5. Again, these are averages. Michigan, Biden plus 10.5. Arizona, Biden plus 8.7. Wisconsin, plus 8.1. Pennsylvania, plus 6.3. Florida, plus 4.5. North Carolina, plus 1.3. Texas now, Democrat plus 0.2. So they're basically dead tied in Texas? What? That one's stunning. Now, here's the next one. Presidential average lead on September 6th. Bush was up over Kerry, plus 6.4. Obama was up over McCain, plus 2.4. In 2012, Romney versus Obama, they were dead tied on September 6th. In 2016, Hillary was up 3.5 on Trump. In 2020, Biden is up 7.5. 7.5. Trump is running out of time, guys. He's running out of time. And really what this all comes down to is the material reality as it exists today is not good. It's hard for any president to overcome that. But beyond that, as you've heard me say 1,000 times, his strategy this time is nowhere near as good as it was in 2016. It's just not. It's just not. It would be hard for any president to override a pandemic with over 180,000 Americans dead and what is effectively a depression with 20% real unemployment. And a lot of people taking wage cuts because of COVID. It's hard for any president to overcome a material reality that's rapidly deteriorating. And even all the protests and whatnot in the streets, even though this isn't as highly important to the American people, when you look at the numbers, it's still happening in Donald Trump's America. And the more he points it out, he thinks he's owning Biden with that, but really it's just a reminder to people that this is what's happening in your America. So all this stuff happening, that does not bode well for an incumbent. And it could be the situation that even if Trump was running a strategically brilliant campaign, he still might lose because the material reality is just devastatingly bad. But honestly, when you look at the strategy, that's why it's almost time to pound the gavel on this election. It really is. Because I was warning early on in 2016 that Trump's strategy was intelligent and it could work. He was hammering Hillary as the status quo, as part of the establishment, hitting her on outsourcing and voting for wars and being corrupt. All these arguments are arguments that land with normie Americans. And they're going to side with the guy who's the outsider, the anti-establishment one, so that he'll shake things up and fight for them. This was the thought process. 2020, he's just confused. His arguments are just confused. He's trying to act like Biden's far left and Biden's pro-rioter and looter. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that at all. He's down to Biden on the issues that he's putting front and center. The law and order stuff. We just went over those numbers previously. So, guys, I understand it's early September. But I'm already saying it. Trump needs a miracle. He does. He needs a miracle. What he needs is he's got to out-left Biden right now and actually materially deliver, whether that's cutting more stimulus checks or UBI checks. He has to out-left Biden and give people immediate relief right now. He has to do that, plus he has to win every debate in a crushing fashion, plus he has to somehow come across in the last few months as professional, because when there's a crisis, people want a serious, steady hand of leadership, and he decidedly is not that. He's the chaos agent. So if he can do those things, then he has a shot. If he can crush every single debate, deliver materially for people in some very important way, and basically act like he's a serious man for the last 3 months, then he has a shot. But outside of that, as I said, it's late in the fourth quarter, and what are you going to do? If it's late in the fourth quarter and you're down like 8 points already, there's a minute left on the clock, 2 minutes left on the clock, you're down 8. I don't know if they realize the dire situation that they're in at this point. I don't think most people in the country realize the dire situation the Republicans are in at this point. I'm just recently looking at the numbers now. I'm just putting it together now because Trump had a little bit of a bump post the RNC, and it gave this misimpression of a tightening race for a little bit. But if that's one poll, and it was one poll, that's an outlier. And the rest of the race, it immediately snapped back to the default, which was Biden up pretty significantly. So he's got to go now. If he doesn't start doing these things that I'm talking about now, it's done, guys. It's done. So that's the current state of the race. And obviously, it is possible that it changes. And if it does, I'll be the first one to come out here and say it. I'll be the first one to say, hey, Trump crushing the debate, or Trump delivered on something. He showed a little bit of life when he announced, like, we're going to halt the evictions again. Okay, good. There you go. So that's a little bit of, see, I'm out lefting Biden. I'm going to halt the evictions again. Is that enough? No. Because that's just a move that keeps everything as is. He would actually need to materially improve people's lives, like stimulus checks, UBI checks, plus the eviction thing. So that's a little bit of a hint. That's a little bit of like a flash, but he's going to have to do more than that. And I don't know if he has it in him. I think his political instincts have been dulled over the years.